told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never say.
Hey guys, welcome back. Chronicles of a Crafter. So today we're going to finish off our gratitude fall junk journal, and this is pretty much the layout that we're going with right here. I had to play with it a little bit last night just to make sure that this is the way I wanted it to go. Basically, here's our hidden spine. Okay, and we're going to stitch in our signatures today. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue down my two stitched bands that I made out of the scrap pile. Okay, so here's our strips. These strips, by the way, measures about 2 inches, 2.5 inches. So each one of these strips are about 2.5 inches, just for reference. And all I did was really just fold it over, put a little bit of glue on the back of it with some Scotch Create, just to hold it in place while I ran it through my sewing machine. And so this one's a little bit shorter than this one. This one fits perfectly in the space that I want it to. This one's a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to do is start gluing it down, work my way across, and just keep putting those clips back on to make sure that they stay in place where I want it. I had to stretch it out a little bit. So not a big deal, not the end of the world. I'm using Fabrifix for this because Fabrifix does glue fabric to fabric, paper to paper, and paper to fabric. So let's see how well it glues this fabric to paper scenario right here. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's the start of the week. It's a Twisted Tuesday, and we're gonna do not something that's totally twisted, but yeah, I normally do Twisted Tuesdays where I take a popular project online and put my twist on it. So usually if there's another project out there that you guys have seen and would like me to replicate or duplicate it with my spin, just go ahead and drop a comment down in the comment section, and I will take a look at it and try to make it my own, you know, and show you guys how I would do something similar or the same. Okay, so yeah, today we're just finishing up our junk journal that we started, and I'm gonna have to go from this side here. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday so far. So yesterday we started off our gratitude fall journal, and we got this far. So we did our cover, we identified our signatures from the sketch pad that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and we embellished a page in our journal. So the page that we embellished has a pocket on it, as well as a little box that I've selected as my journaling section. And we also did a little ruffle at the top of the page, and I'll show you guys just to recap what was done inside the journal. Whoops. So right now I'm just putting my clips back on my book just to make sure that this band right here stays where I placed it. The bottom band will not have a problem to glue down. So this is the page that we embellished, and I just did a little doodle around the box, put a little faux what do you call it? I guess it's not really a sticker because it didn't have a peel and stick, but I just glued down this little number right here, and we have a tag shaped pocket right here at the bottom, which I think is so cute. It's so genius, like tag inside of a tag. That's pretty cool. And here's our ruffle. So looking at this, I was like, oh, I can put a little something under here. I can put a little something under there. under here, all the way down until we get to the back here, and then we can do something really big underneath here. So we'll see. I just thought this was such a cute little embellishment. So these are what we're going to be stitching into the spine today, just so we can wrap up the project. So yeah, again, Fabrifix is going down here at the bottom, and we will glue down our little band that I made. Okay, so there's that, and here's my little stitched band. It's gonna go right there, just slightly above the bottom of the book. Make sure this one has come down far enough. Yep, just slightly below the top of the book. Okay, so yep, that's that. I'm gonna set this aside to dry while we work on our signature. So this again is my signature spine. It is a little under 3/4 of an inch, and it fits perfectly inside here like that. So that's where this is going to live once we stitch in the signatures. So here are my signatures, all nice and tucked into their covers. Here is my spine. Here's the awl that I'm probably going to use. We're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and my needle and waxed thread. So what I really want to do is just make sure that wherever I place my holes, there's enough room on the spine so that, you know, the book will have enough space top and bottom to sit comfortably in the spine. So I know the book is, I know the signatures are the size of the book, so I just want to make sure that my spine falls somewhere in between this section here. Okay, so this will go here, and I know that my signatures are the same size of the book. Okay, so regardless of where I place my holes, I know that the signatures will allow me to line up the book properly. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm going to let's see, I'm going to use, I'll use, I don't know if a pencil will work, but let's just try it. So if I place if I want to place a hole here, yeah, pencil works. Okay, so I know that that hole lines up with these two parts of the signature, and I need to do 2 holes on there, so it has to be even. So I'll probably do another hole about here, and that will line up with this 2 sections of the signatures. Okay, and then down here I will do another one, and that'll line up with these 2 sections of the signature. Okay, so that's pretty much how you would measure it out. There's no science behind it. It's just you play with it until you get your technique down. Okay, so yeah, this way you know that when you punch your hole there, that's going to go through these 2, that one, and that one. Okay, so to keep it nice and even, I will grab my ruler and just place another little circle or dot right next to that one. That just gives you a reference, an idea of where you're going to place your other hole. And you also want to make sure that these are lined up evenly. See, you notice like this one I have to move it over to there, and then this one will go here, and we'll line that up right there. All right, so okay, and I just put little tiny pencil marks on the signatures themselves. Okay, so I just want to make sure that they are Even. Yeah, even Steven. Okay, great. So I'm just going to take my awl. I'm going to, excuse my arm, grab my little spongy thingy here, and I'm just going to punch a hole. And you could do this with your crocodile. I think even the small crocodile would work in this scenario. But I'm just going old school with the awl, making sure that I don't damage my spine, because I only have one of these. Because once you go in with the crocodile, wherever you place that hole is where it lives forever and ever. So you may not be happy with the location of it. So the awl is just a little old school. Let you take your time to do it right. Okay, there's those two. Here is my second one. Now remember, I'm going through 2 pieces of cardstock and a very thin piece of chipboard, so I'm very impressed with how well my awl is working in this scenario here. Oh, stop it. Just get down there and punch it. Okay. Not to mention I have some glue in there, and yeah, the awl is working out really well. Okay, so there's that. And for the waxed thread, the rule of thumb is generally 3 times the height of your book. So when I measured off my waxed thread, I basically just took my signature like so, pulled it off of the pulled the spool out, and just measured 1, okay, 2, 3. Okay, so that's 3 times the height of the journal. So normally what I would do at this point is clip in my pages. So I'm just going to use a giant paper clip here on this side, and another one over here on this side. Make sure my pages are tucked into that crease really well, and they're even top and bottom. And you can flip it over this side if that's where you made your marks. You just want to make sure that your pages are snug into the spine. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a hole in my first section up here at the top. Whoops. Make sure I go all the way down and straight through the center of the book. Okay, there's 1. All the way down and straight through the center. There's 2. Straight through the bottom. Okay, so there's 1 signature complete. I'm going to do the same thing for the second. Flip my pages into place. Make sure my pages are nice and tight down inside the crease of that signature cover, and fold it over on itself. I'm going to use my awl, go straight through the center of the top. Straight through the center, and straight through the bottom. Now there is a tool that you can purchase if you're into making books on a regular basis, but I mean, the whole point of a junk journal is that it's interesting, and you know, it's not perfect and whatnot. But I think We Are Memory Keepers make a little stand that you can stand your pages up perfectly in, and you know, get the holes in there perfect. But I don't have that tool, and I don't even recommend it really, because that's the whole point of a junk journal, is that things are free-flowing and interesting, and you know. So all I'm going to do now is just take my back signature. I'm going to start in the center. So this will be my first signature. This one will be my back signature. I'm just going to start right here in the center hole and grab my spine and put that into that back hole on the center, if that makes any sense. I hope you guys are following that, but it's the same steps, right? So we've done 3 hole pamphlet stitches before. I'm not sure if we've ever done a hidden spine before, but I know I've done this for various projects that, you know, commissioned me to do it. So this is just one version of doing a 3 hole pamphlet stitch. So okay, I went through let me just fix this so you can see. I went through the center spine hole on the signature, and I went through the back hole of my signature, the hidden spine. Okay, so I'm gonna go in through that same row here. I'm gonna go through the top hole, and then I'm going to go through the signature, and I'm going to pull that through. Now my needle and thread, my needle is probably overkill, because I made the holes with the awl. I probably could have gotten away with a much smaller needle eye, but it's okay. And then I went through on the inside to the bottom. Okay. And what you want to do in the process of going through all of this, you want to first keep your needle threaded, but you also want to make sure that your threads are all nice and taut along the way. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And back here on the back cover, to close up the stitch, you want to go back through that center hole, trying not to thread your thread. Okay, so when you push in your needle, make sure that it doesn't pierce this thread that's on this side already. Okay, and then you're going to pull it. My fingers are slippery. You're gonna pull it all the way through. Okay. And this is where you want to make sure that 1, you didn't thread your thread, and 2, your threads are even. If you notice, this is not even. So I would then pull this through, even everything up. Okay. And you want to get 1 thread on one side of this bridge, and then 1 thread on the other side of this bridge. So it will look like this. See that? There's the hole. Here's 1 string. Here's 1 string. And the bridge is in the middle. And then again, you just want to pull tight, but not tearing. Oh, I'm sorry. That didn't help. I flipped it over to make sure that my you also want to make sure that you went through the 1 straight row on this side as well. All right, let's make sure that we did not go through any other signature holes. All right, and then I'm just going to tie this off in a knot. I'm going to do a lock knot, so it's right over left and then left over right, and that locks the thread in place. And I'm just going to tie a very small bow on here for now. And then maybe we can do a charm or 2 down at the bottom there. Whatever's not even, feel free to just snip off. That's how much waste we've had so far, okay? All right. And I'm just gonna set this aside and pierce the holes. Oh, I already did the holes in this one, so that's great. I'm gonna thread my needle. I'm gonna thread my needle for my next signature. And again, we're gonna start right in the center of the book. Place it onto the spine and go through that center hole that we made. Right there. Go up to the top. And then go through the signature. You may just have to feel around for it a little bit because, you know, things move, things shift, and that's okay, but just make sure that you get them all lined back up. So here's my hole on the top of this section. Some of my pages shifted, but it's fine. We've recovered. As long as I can get this through right there. Yep. Nice save. Okay. And then we're going to go down to the bottom and try not to make new holes. Pierce your needle through the hole that you've made and go through this bottom section right here. Okay, and this is when you want to take everything to your table and visually line things up. Make sure everything is where you want it to be before you go through your last before you go through the last hole. So here we are back going through the center. We want to make sure that we do not pierce our thread, and go through there. Okay. All right. I know, a little cumbersome when you're doing a hidden spine, but it's worth it. All right. So I'm just gonna pull my thread a little, try to get everything nice and even. Okay, this is when you want to check for evenness. Make sure the signatures are even on the spine. Everybody's happy on the back. Taut but not tearing. And yeah, everything is nice and secure. I'm going to clip this section together for a moment. Okay, this is what it looks like on the outside. All right. I'm just trying to get the threads on the inside to be nice and taut. All right. And I will lock knot this again. So it's right over left, left over right, and that gives you a lock knot, and then a little tiny bow. That knot's not going anywhere, by the way, but the bow is cuter. So yeah, there's that. And here's our spine. Okay, so that's what your hidden spine will look like once you get it glued down into your book. So let's bring back in our book. I think my Fabrifix should be dry. Okay, my bands are right where I want them to be. There's a little bit of buckling right there at the top. I can fix that with some additional Fabrifix. So I'm just going to add just a little bit right up here in the creases of the book, just to make sure that my my fabric doesn't buckle. And I'm just going to massage it into the crease with my bone folder. And anywhere that you did not get Fabrifix or get your fabric glued down, feel free to do that now, and then clip it into place for security. But we can still move on to gluing in the signature. So right now I'm just going to add a good bit of Fabrifix down the middle of the hidden spine that we made. And yeah, I'm just putting a good bit of glue on here. That'll also secure all my pages because I'm gluing up the thread, so the thread will never shift. It'll never come undone. All right, and then I'm just gonna place a little bit down here. Like so. All right, and okay, set that aside. And now I'm just going to glue down my signature into the center of the book. And this is going to take a while to dry. So what I want to do is clip this in, and get it nice and firmly down in there. I'm then going to clip this whole thing together so that it stays in place. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so my signature is completely glued down into the book. This looks so amazing. I love it. There's that page that we decorated. The signatures are stitched in. The hidden spine is glued down. Now the only thing left to do is to decorate, and I'm so excited to do this part. So, okay, here's what our inside of our front cover looks like. Let's just get into it. Here's what I've decided to do. I took a piece of fabric over to my sewing machine and double stitched a single stitch all the way down. So it's a double single stitch. My sewing machine has a setting on there that does that for me. I'm going to place this down right in here, and all I've really done to like really embellish this piece of fabric was just pulled on the threads that's fraying and created this cute little ruffle right here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but I did that along the sides and along the top. And then when it got to the end right there, because my thread is stitched in so well, I just cut away whatever peeks out at the end. Okay, so that's one way that you can create like a frayed edge all the way around your fabric. Okay, so I am just going to use some Fabrifix glue. My Fabrifix is ready to go. It's been laying on its side. I'm not going to glue it completely down. I'm just going to keep it kind of flowy and see what happens, because I do want to place something on top of it. So let's just do this right here. Yep, and this is just my inside cover of the journal, right? So at this point, the choices are yours. You can do what you like. Let me see. Yep, I'm just going to tuck that right down in there. Very nice. Okay. So that's going to go there. While that's drying, so that we don't waste too much time, I'm just going to take my little pokey tool, peel back some of these washi stickers here. This is just a little tiny embellishment of a mushroom, and I am going to place this right down in here. Can you guys see that? Okay, yes you can. I'm just going to place that right here in this corner of my signature cover, and I'm putting it on the second one. I'm going to put a different sticker on the first one. Well, it'll probably still be a mushroom, but it'll be a different one. And I'm just gonna try to get that background really smushed into the card, the craft paper color. So yeah, that washi is never going anywhere. Okay, so on this front one, I'm going to use this mushroom, and I'm going to place that in the exact same spot of the previous one. Whoops. But it's going on the first signature. So that's going to go right about there. I suppose straight is an option, right? So maybe I should try to get it to lie down straight. It still feels crooked to me. Okay, let's try it one last time. If not, we're moving on. There we go. Alright, and I'm just using my bone folder or my scoring tool to really get that to lay down right there. Okay, so there's that. That's my decorations for the bottoms of this signature and this signature. I decided to go with a little it's a little embellishment, or it's kind of like a, what's that thing called, like a book plate. Where's my ink dauber? It's kind of like a book plate, but I went ahead and stamped on it. I stamped thankful on this one, grateful on another, and blessed on a third. I'm going to use the thankful, and I'm just so glad all these things dried overnight. I'm glad I didn't rush it, because I'm really happy with the way these things came out. So I'm just going to place thankful right here on the second signature cover, and I'm going to put grateful on the first signature cover. I'm going to try to get them both in the general same location. Okay, and then I'm going to use these little circle medallions. These were supposed to be fussy cut out with all this little scallop edges. I didn't even bother to do that. I just went in with my hole punch and punched it out with my circle punch, I mean. Okay, so I'm just going to place these down on the edges of the signatures as like little tabs. Okay, so I think that'll look cute right there. Well, actually I'll put this one right there and place this one up here. Okay, so let's do that. Again, I'm just doing some random decorations just to try to speed this process along and wrap this up as I said I would. So I glued it this way. Okay, let's make sure we're not getting glue in places that we don't want it. So I'm going to flip it over and just clean up my glue. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. And then I'm going to place this little sunflower on this second section. And that one will go down here. Okay, so I think that looks cute so far. I think we've gotten like a lot accomplished right now. I also have this. Okay, so the other Etsy shop. Okay, so these are the ones that I got from Betty's Custom Design. She's on Etsy. The other one was Eclectic Eggplant, also on Etsy. I got some really cool things from that shop. And then I believe the third one is Pink Monarch, and that's where I got some of my other little printables and die cuts and whatnot. So, I mean, I can make them myself, but I like to support the other channels and the other Etsy shops out there. I've also purchased some things from Lily's Lovelies, and she has a great Etsy shop as well as a YouTube channel. So yeah, just go ahead and check these guys out. I will place links for them down in the description box below. And so my description box is growing. I went from maybe 1 or 2 sentences to like 3 or 4 paragraphs. And for those of you who read my description boxes, thank you. Okay, like there's a lot of information down in there, so I just want to thank you all for that. So yeah, I'm gonna put everything down in the link in the description box below, and I'm just going to place this little autumn embellishment right there on the inside of my cover. But now I'm wondering, should I have glued down my fabric? Yes, because it's I'm gonna glue down my fabric. Sorry guys. And this is why Fabrifix is also the best glue to use, because I'll show you no damage, no harm, no foul, right? So I will come back and reuse the same thing in that same spot. But first I want to get my fabric glued down just for security purposes. Don't want it falling apart. I can use Fabrifix, fabric to fabric, paper to paper, fabric to paper. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Fabrifix right here. I use the old finger smush technique so my fabric doesn't buckle underneath. Okay, tuck that back down in there and smush it all the way out. Okay, and then my glue is still tacky on this side, so I can just add a little bit more Fabrifix and glue this back down right in the same spot. Problem diverted. Okay, I also went through my stash while we were gone and found some little die cut pumpkins, so I thought I would put them right along here. These are just the pumpkins that I had to assemble once I cut them out of on my Gemini Mini die cutting machine. So I'm just going to use, yes, I had to bring in the big boy, the big art glitter glue, because my little ones were not working very well. So yes, I'm using art glitter in the largest bottle possible. I will try to put a link for that down below as well. But I'm just going to assemble these pumpkins right along the bottom here. In no particular order, just wherever. And yeah, I just pulled these out of a box that I keep a bunch of pre-cut die cuts in. So I'm just gonna put this one right about there, and I'm gonna put this long skinny one right here in the front. Okay. And just adjusting things while I can, because art glitter dries super quick. Does not normally give you time to adjust, so I'm taking advantage of that and adjusting. And wherever I get glue that I don't want, first I wipe it away with my dry wipes, and then if it's left a smudge or what have you, I just go in with my little eraser thingy from the Dollar Tree and erase what I don't need. Okay guys, so here we have nicely decorated inside front cover, nicely decorated first signature, third page in the journal, second signature. Okay, so let's do something in the second signature. I'll do something in the back of the second signature. So here's a, let's do it about here. I don't know, I'm not picking anything in particular. Here is still some masterboard left over. I'm going to place it on this side. So what I've done was I took it over to my scoreboard, scored a 1/2 inch around the washi section. Then I added some more washi right on top of that. And I reinforced my washi with glue stick. So that washi is not coming off of the masterboard section. And now I am reinforcing my washi with Fabrifix, and this is going to go right here as a little tuck. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to place this down, let me see, centrally on the page. So top and bottom centered, and about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. Okay. So now we have like this little hidden section right here on this page. It'll flip up like that, and the score mark and the washi controls that for you. What I will do is I'll place a little, I can either place a magnet or some Velcro. I think I'll put a little Velcro dot right there. Yeah, now that I'm looking for Velcro dots, all I find are magnets. So here's some of the magnets that I have. This is Dollar Tree, guys. You can get magnets at the Dollar Tree. They're pretty strong. This is a package of 3M magnets I picked up on Amazon, and then these are some little tiny button magnets. They're about, a fraction of an inch big. And there's that big sheet that I bought at Michael's to make those these thingies, right? Those little clips that clip onto the sides of your book as a little marker, a page marker. But what I'm looking for is a Velcro dot. So let's see. I'll be back in 2 ticks. Okay, so I went and grabbed my Velcro dots. These are very small. They're a fraction of the size of the ones that you get at Dollar Tree. So I'll be using these little tiny ones right here. I got these on Amazon, I believe, and they were just, you know, really inexpensive. Probably the amount that I received are equivalent to what you would pay at the Dollar Tree for those. So I'm just going to place this down right here. I can probably add a little dab of Fabrifix, not really necessary. Make sure my page is nice and straight, and pop that down right there. So now you definitely have like this little secret hidden compartment. I just went around there, inked it with peeled paint, so a little green inking took place on that. So let's see, nice. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll put a little button. Let's see, I will place a little flat back pearl. Let's see, maybe that color. maybe blue. I think that purple kind of brings it all together around the edges over there. So I'm just going to grab a little flat back pearl right out of here, just so you know that this is a movable object, little hidden section right there. And I will definitely use Fabrifix right there and pop down my little flat back pearl right on top of it. Okay. So there's that. Let's see, what else did I do while we took a little mini break to locate a bunch of stuff and ink a bunch of things so that you didn't have to watch me ink. So here in the second signature still, I made this little belly band out of fabric. I just went around, zigzag stitched all around there. And I think I'm just going to place this little belly band right here in the second signature and straighten up my fabric a little. And it's just a little Raggedy Andy kind of zigzag. I went around several times. So I zigzag stitched it first, then I went around and did a straight stitch, then I went around and did a double stitch. So this one little piece of fabric has been totally reinforced over and over again. So I'm just going to use some Fabrifix glue right here on the edges. Oh, and I put a piece of a little tiny piece of paper right in there, some cardstock. Okay, so this is totally reinforced and it's gonna look great right there on a page, any page in your journal. And once you've done that, you can then tuck all sorts of stuff in there. So here's some tags. Again, I believe these are from Pink Monarch, and I will link her down below. Just want to make sure that my belly band is tight and down. Okay, so again, any glue that oozes out, Fabrifix is good for just rubbing it away without damaging your page. And if you want, you can grab one of these. It's just a piece of rubber. And yeah, so that's nicely held down. I'll just tuck a bunch of things behind it just so you can see that this page is done. Okay, easy peasy. The next thing that I wanted to do, so here is some tickets. Okay, so these are just some printable tickets that I picked up at one of those Etsy shops, and they come in all different colors, sizes, you know, layouts. Okay, so all I really did to like make this my own was I just went in with various inks and inked the edges. Okay, after cutting it out, so I went through, folded it, cut away the edges where the tickets would be like a stub. You know, I folded it up and popped little holes through it just so that it looks more like a ticket. And I have this little tool here that I picked up on Amazon. I just used it with my ruler and crunched through the ticket. It has these little riveted edges on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has these little pegs that can make your tickets look more realistic. And this is not a very expensive tool. I think I got 2 in a pack for about $5. But again, I just went around, inked these tickets, and what I want to do is use one of them as an actual pocket. So here in my second half of my first signature, I'm just going to pop this down on a page as a pocket, and then I will take all of my tickets that I've riveted and popped through and just tuck them in, as this will now be a ticketed pocket. So I'm just going to do that with Fabrifix. let's see, I think I'm gonna do it excuse me, on this center page. I think that'll make a nice center spread. So I'm gonna glue this down on 3 sides, staying away from those holes because you don't want glue oozing through. And I'm just getting glue right on the edge of this ticketed pocket. And I'm just going to, nope, I will do it on this page right here. Really simple decorations, guys. Like, you know, it's whatever you want it to be. So decorating your journal is totally optional. Again, you can use this as a totally writing journal. No decorations whatsoever. Just write for days. You have over 30 pages in here to write. But yeah, I just wanted to embellish just a little bit so that it represents fall to me, and gratitude. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry really well before tucking anything into it, because I don't want my pages to stick together, and I don't want anything that I tuck in there to get stuck to the glue. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Let's go back and check on our, where did I place it? Our belly band. Oh, this is dry. Let's see. Yep, super cute. Let's check on our belly band. Yep, that's in pretty good. Nice. And yeah, now we have this pocket here, and we're gonna let that dry. Alright guys, I think we've done plenty, like so much. I'm actually a little tired. Let's see. I did want to put something down underneath here. I didn't want to repeat anything. So let's see, what do I have? I have a calendar. I got a bunch of these little guys. Really no rhyme or reason for what they mean, but you can pretty much just tuck whatever you like underneath this little section right here. So like, I can just pop that number 2 right under there, and you don't even know it's there until, you know, this is a interactive type of banner here at the top. So yeah, you can just put little things underneath there, right? You don't even know it's there. I mean, it's so cute. Such a great idea though, like, you know. Yeah, I can put something underneath there. And for the sake of not inking all of this on camera, put a little calendar under there. I'll do that later. Under here I can place whatever this is. It says postcard, but I think this is even big enough for, you could put a gift card under there, a business card, like, you know, super cute. I mean, interactive, super interactive. And then once you get to the back, you can write a note or what have you. You have this entire box down here that I created for journaling in. And yeah, you can just make this all really fun and interactive. And this is a Cochrane Farms, is an actual local farm that I went to in St. Augustine. So yeah. Anyway, alright guys, I think I will just wrap this up right here. I will leave you guys to play with your stuff, play with your journaling projects. I'm going to go back and tuck these into that pocket that I made. I think it's dry. Yeah guys, just have a crafty day. Like, it's Twisted Tuesday. Go do something twisted, or fun or what have you. But yeah, make it your own. Go do something really, really fun. And if you were crafting along with me, come back tomorrow and we'll do some more fun stuff. But I think this project is wrapped up, other than anything else that I decide to embellish it with. Okay, so yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I hope you guys stay naturally curious, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel with the information down below. My videos tend to come out daily, Monday through Saturday. I try to do a Saturday video, as well as my Amazon list is down in the description as well. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long.